Couple of big days coming up. We're getting our driveway redone here. All this concrete is coming out where those arrows are, and we're going to fill in this grassy area here so we get a second car spot. We're going to redo the walkway and all the way down to the bottom, just before the sidewalk there. That is all coming up, and it will be widened by 2 feet on this side all the way down as well, so a little bit more space for the doors when you open the car. Looking forward to it, but it definitely costs money. But I will be glad not to mow my driveway anymore with all that grass growing in there. It should definitely add to the curb appeal of the house, so looking forward to it. The other main thing is we have some water issue getting down to the end of the basement here at the corner of the house, and so when they put this in, they're going to grade it so that it slopes away from the house. What happened, I think, there used to be a tree here, which I dug the roots out recently, but the root, I believe, went under the driveway and pushed it up, and then the water started collecting this side instead of going the other direction. And so hopefully this will fix the water issue in the basement too, so we don't have to do any excavation there. When we started this driveway project, we didn't really have plans per se. We were in the middle of eating dinner, and the contractor came knocking on the door and said, "Hey, we got equipment in the neighborhood. You know, you want an estimate for your driveway?" Well, we've been wanting to do a driveway for a while. We said, "Sure, give us an estimate." And of course, before we knew it, it was starting to get kind of expensive, but we thought, well, we got the money for it, and seemed like the price was pretty good compared to what some of our neighbors got. But there were some things that we had to give up on, unfortunately. For example, we have this carport, which would be really easy to turn into living space to make our tiny house bigger. But the county requires footers under the concrete, and I can tell you that they are not there because this driveway has some holes here where they did mud jacking to jack it up before we moved in, and that means that the slab was sinking, so therefore it is not stable for living space, so it does need footers. Well, this company didn't want to do footers, but they would have happily charged me a lot of money extra to chop all this up and put down new concrete, but I really do want the footers there sometime. The other thing that we really wanted to do, definitely wanted to fill this area in, like I mentioned before. Actually, it is working. We had some decent rains, and that seam there, which goes down to the basement, it's actually dry on the floor finally. So apparently that is working to keep water out of the basement, thankfully. Now, this is a double wide driveway. I really want a triple wide out here also, but turns out our gas line runs from right down here all the way up the middle of this grassy area, all the way to the back under the slab and into the porch. Well, that's bad because that's a 60-year-old gas line. It's iron, and almost certainly that is going to break once they start jackhammering and actually they don't need to jackhammer this area, but once they start bulldozing this area to make way for the concrete, it's more than likely they're going to break it, and I'll have an even more expensive bill after they finish the driveway, and then we have to jackhammer it up again. Furthermore, the pipe going under here, this area would all need to be jackhammered up in order to put the new concrete floor in, and again, it's likely that pipe would break. So we were at a disadvantage for that, so we decided not to add the triple wide driveway. But we did negotiate putting this curve in here so that I could easily pull my second car into this slot, and we did negotiate getting that stoop redone as well. So it was kind of off the cuff. We didn't get all the stuff that we wanted, but what we got we really love. One thing they didn't do was clean up the edge, so I had to do that all myself by packing dirt around the sides here and tamping it down. And there's a little bit of cleanup work that needed to be done too. But all in all, came out great. We love it, and just wish we could make it extend bigger and bigger. So what should you expect the company to do? Well, they first come in, they break up the whole driveway, they haul all that away, they dig the dirt down to make it level and haul that away if there's extra dirt. Then they come back with stone and compact that down into the dirt to make it a real solid foundation. They lay down rebar and they start pouring concrete, brush it, and finish it up. Some of the things that you can get extra, you can get concrete stamping to make it look like stone. You can get it colored and stamped so it looks like a different, really looks like stone, but it's going to cost you a lot extra for that. Then there's all the other things you can do. You can make it look like brick edging around the outside, again with stamping and coloring. And there's other options too, but they all cost more, and so it depends how much money you want to spend. Also, think about what season you want this done in. You don't want this job done in the winter. This has to stay warm so that it can cure properly. Ours was right at the edge of 50, 60 degrees. Really, you don't want it to dip down below about 40 or 30 degrees. But thankfully, we had 2 or 3 days of warm enough weather that this cured completely, well, as much as it can in a few days. And so we were pretty safe going this time of year, which is fall. However, I'd recommend waiting till spring, summer, or early fall, not waiting till late November like we did. This has been noisy all day. Jackhammering that stoop up. An electric jackhammer. That's why it's so noisy. Got the stone delivery. Some stone delivered. All ready to go. The new driveway is gonna look like.